Happy 4th of July, everybody. I hope this video, when it gets posted, it'll be a month past 4th of July. This video probably won't post till sometime in probably August. But this is 4th of July day. I'm here at home in my shop working on a few things, and I hope y'all have a good 4th of July celebration, doing it safely, and enjoying the freedoms that we have in this country. Anyways, moving on. I'm out here working in the shop today, and oh my God, I have another tractor in here. But you all will probably recognize this tractor. This is my personal tractor. It's a 4020 with a gasoline powered engine in it. You can see the old Marvin Schedler carburetor it's got. This thing quit running on me the other day. That last video that you saw me putting that loader on the tractor, if you could hear that thing running, it sounded like crap. I mean, I think it was only firing on 2 cylinders. And it got to where it didn't want to start. So I pulled out the plugs. Oh my God, they were so fouled up. This thing, for being a gas tractor, smokes worse than a diesel. I'm telling you, I really need to do some tune-up work on it. So I have already put new plugs in it. I put a new coil on it, along with, I pulled the points out of it, and I've updated it. It now has electronic ignition in it. Right off the top of my head, I can't think of the name, but I think I have the box here somewhere. Pertronics igniter I put in it. So that sure seemed to help it start a little bit better. But we've got oil leaks on this thing. I mean, you can see the little mess it's made on the floor here. And it also has a leak back here on the back. And then also this control valve that you guys all know that I got that sealed up on my granddad's 4010. This needs to be sealed up too. So I think I'm going to take time to get that sealed up. The Wapsie Grove conversion kits I had done to my tractor several years ago. And this inside one here, I think I cut the O-ring on it. The rest of these don't leak, but you can see how that one's been washing down. And got a little bit of a mess in the oil pan. I need to pull that out and change out the O-ring. I have an O-ring kit. I hope I have the right size. If I do not, I may have to send out an email to the folks that make the Wapsie Grove conversion kit and see if I can't get some replacement O-rings. But for right now, this thing, I backed it in here late last night and I didn't take time to power wash it. We need to fire it up and pull it outside and power wash it clean. This tractor, you're probably wondering what the heck's going on with the stack bent over. What's going on here with this guy? And I'll tell you, I wanted a tractor like my granddad, and you know, it's a 40 series tractor. Back in the day when I was still trucking over the road with my step deck, I run my own authority, and I would find loads out there on the load boards, and I found this tractor in Tractor Trader or Machinery Trader or something like that. I don't remember, it's been too long ago, but this tractor originally was sitting at a dealership in Southern Illinois and had the loader on it. This tractor actually originally had a cab on it from the factory, and the cab had already been removed, but it sold with the tractors. I went in there one day and I gave them $5,500 for this tractor. Loaded it up on my step deck. They loaded the cab up on my trailer. It had the loader. It was a quick attach loader. Also had a bale spear with it to lift round bales. And I wrote them out a check and I hauled this thing home. from Southern Illinois. Anyways, I had been working on it several years ago, trying to restore it, and I was busy working fixing hydraulic leaks and stuff, and for a long time this tractor sat right there where that red and white GMC sits, and I had been working on it, making it nice. I made this this tractor didn't originally have this control valve to run the loader. I made all this here and plumbed it in. When I bought it, this thing was plumbed into the rear remotes back here, and you had to use the factory controls and the control valve to operate the loader, and I don't like them hooked up like that because I like to keep the rear remotes available for other pieces of equipment. I like to install everything into the system along with a remote, and this is actually a 3-way remote. I just have the third handle removed, so if I want to put a loader on that's got the bale claw, I've got 3 remotes where I can operate that if I want to. But I had been working on getting that thing worked when one day I got a phone call from my mom and my brother to come help clean the family farm, the junk iron. And my brother didn't want me using Granddad's 4010 because it had really bad hydraulic leaks, and he didn't want me hurting the tractor. And then 2 years later, he hurts the tractor by running it low on hydraulic fluid. But this here is my original hood to this tractor, and it got all beat up, and so I had purchased a new hood several years ago. This is my sheet metal. These are my side shields. You can see it's a 4020. Got a new, this piece had all been bent to heck. This is the piece that sets right up inside there, like so. But yeah, I'm still gonna finish this tractor out, and we probably won't do that this time. My plan right now is to power wash it clean, get it running good. I suspect, so let me go back to my story there. I started rambling. I got that phone call to come clean up Granddad's farm, and I sometimes think I have wild angels, because I was loading iron, and there was one long piece that I went to load, and I got lazy and didn't want to use my cutting torch and cut it up, which I should have done. And I mean, it was a long piece of metal, probably 40 foot long, pretty heavy. I don't know that it weighed a ton, but I bet it weighed every bit of 1,000 pounds. And I was lifting it up on my load of my junk iron, and I will put a picture of my loaded semi of junk. I hauled 12 loads off that farm that summer. I'll put a picture up right now. And anyways, I was lifting that piece up onto the trailer, and it fell off the back side of the bucket and then come skidding down the arms of the loader. And that piece of metal, I got pretty concerned sitting up there in the seat. I thought it was going to come and jump in my lap, but it knocked off my pre-cleaner. There's a tall pipe here with a pre-cleaner on top for the air filter. It knocked it off on the ground, bent my stack over. I run the pre-cleaner over with my wheels, so I destroyed that. I got a little wild and reckless loading that stuff up, but I had a little bit of help from my wife and my daughters, a little bit of help from my mom and dad and my brother, but It took me 4 months to clean that farm up. I did the bulk of the work by myself out there most of the time. That was a long, hot job. And this little tractor kind of took a beating. It's a good thing I didn't have my nice hood on there and all painted up, because I'd have probably tore all that stuff up. So anyways, I'm gonna pull this thing out here and I'm gonna power wash it, and I'm gonna set you guys up and just put it on time lapse for doing all that. But I am gonna set you up here live and let you see it start, and I'll show you how it smokes as bad as a diesel. I suspect it smokes so bad is because the pre-filter isn't up on there, and I'm pretty sure I got a pretty dirty air filter. It probably needs changed out. That's probably how come it's smoking so bad. At least that's the first place I'm gonna start. I think I need to mess with my starter or my ignition switch, because it ain't been wanting to start. I having to jump start the starter here lately. Did you guys see all that smoke blow at my face? Excuse me. Yeah, she needs a tune-up, I think. We'll start with putting a new air filter in it, and hopefully that is the big part of it. So anyways, I got a new muffler I'm gonna put on it. We'll straighten that all up. I do have a new pre-cleaner, just the bowl. I don't have the pipe. Those was hard to find, so it's just a pipe. So we're just gonna call my local metal supplier that I go to and just get a piece of pipe, and we'll just make our own. So anyways, I don't know if we'll put the sheet metal all back on it this time right now. I don't think so, because this kind of involves a dune buggy project. I've been working on my buggy sitting here, and I'm working on the brakes right now. But I am wanting to take this to the sand here sometime this summer, and I have sand tires to work on, and those are proven to be not much fun. I got one broke down. They're beadlock wheels, and I got one broke down, but I'm telling you, that thing was on there so tight. I'm telling you. I'll show you. I'll just do I got, you know, I do my own truck tires all the time. I ain't no wimp. And this big old paddle tire here, they've got this thing, they use sealant to seal them down, and I don't know, maybe that's just something you need to do with with bead locks, but I'll show you here. I got a bead breaker that I use on my semi wheels all the time, and I can't get it broke. I just can't get them to come loose. I have hammered. I put it right here on the side and I'd push down. And I mean, it pushed hard. I lifted the front tires off the ground on that tractor trying to break that. But it finally broke it after a little while of messing around with it. I just hope I don't screw up and bend my wheels here. But I'm gonna have, even these ones, these little steer wheels are just as hard. They don't want to break down. They got them sealed up good. But yet they all leak. All four of these tires, when I bought this buggy, they would go down in 30 minutes. And so I sprayed soapy water around them beads, and they're just sitting there bubbling bubbles on all four tires. So they need to be broke down. I need to clean them real good. And then I do have a can of sealant that I bought hiding around here somewhere. And I'll reseal them. And before I put the tires on and seal them, though, I want to polish them up. I like polished wheels, and I will take the time to get my buffing equipment out and polish them up nice. So working on the tractor is kind of the name of the game for helping me work on this dune buggy. So I got the brakes, been working on the brakes here. Got a new master cylinder put in. I'm gonna run some new brake line. Got a new brake valve put in here, or a junction you might call it. So I needed that, so I had a place to install the brake switch. But this line coming from up there will come in right here, and then we'll come out here and come over and go into the turning brake or the cutting brake. And I got the cutting brake all installed. I shortened the handle a little bit so it would clear this roll cage right there. I don't really like tall shifters anyway. And then I've got my stainless steel stuff hooked back here. New calipers back here on the back. So all we got to do is finish putting together the hard line. I've got a big piece of it here and already got the first bin made, the first flare made. But all I got to do is put all that in and then bleed the brakes, and we should have good working brakes. So anyways, I'm going to put you guys up on time lapse so you can watch me power wash this tractor. And then after I get that done and bring it back in here and let it drip dry, I'll probably put you on time lapse while I'm messing around on my buggy. So anyways, Okay, we got the thing power washed. It's looking a lot better. So we're gonna let it sit there and drip dry for a while, and meanwhile we'll put you back on whatever you call it, fast forward, and we will pedal on this dune buggy. Okay guys, we're back again here this morning, next day, working on the tractor, and got the new muffler put on it. I reused the top pipe, but put a new muffler on it, and I pulled the air filter out, and I think that might be part of our running rich problems. It's pretty dirty, so I'm gonna get a new filter. But this is the bottom of the filter housing, and when I took it off, look what I discovered. Yeah, it's rusted out. So I'm gonna try to get a new pan, a new bottom, but if I can't, I guess what I'm gonna do is see if I can find some round pipe material that's real thin wall, and we'll just cut the bottom of this can and we'll just rebuild this can if I have to. But I know of a couple of places, used tractor equipment, salvage part places, and I'll just see if I can't get a replacement can for this. So a lot of these are oil bath cleaners, mainly for the diesel tractors, and this one's a dry element filter housing. So anyways, I'll go to my parts store with these part numbers and see if he can't get me a new filter, and we'll see what we can do about getting that replaced. So we got that coming, and then I've ordered some parts for this tractor. You can see my tie rod here, what that looks like. I had this fall apart a few years ago during the middle of the winter while I was trying to clean snow. So I just took my welder and welded some beads around that to kind of help hold onto that ball joint. But I've got some new tie rod ends coming. We're just going to replace all 4 of them, put some fresh tie rods on it. What else did I order? So this you might consider my first project I've ever bought since my wife and I got married back in in 2000. And I've had this tractor quite a long time, and this tractor, before I got this shop built, used to sit outside in the sunshine all the time. And we had one massive hailstorm come in one year while I was gone, and this tractor just got beat to death, and it beat my tachometer gauge out on the dash. So these other gauges don't work either. So I've ordered a new tachometer, a new coolant gauge, and a new fuel gauge, along with a new fuel sending unit to go in the tank. We're going to get all that fixed up. When I have that all apart, I might take this dash part here, since you can tell how it used to be black in color. I think I can get new decals for the gear shift. I think I'm going to take this off and run it over to Hayes and have them sandblast that and powder coat it gloss black for me. Kind of make that look a little nicer. So anyways, we got to do that. The ignition's not wanting to quite work right. I'm going to put a new ignition switch in it and a new push button starter. We'll fix them things up, see if we can't get it to start better. I've been jump starting it on the solenoid, but I don't think it's the solenoid that's causing the problems. I think it's that ignition switch. So we're going to freshen that up a little bit. Anyways, what else am I going to do? That carburetor is not very old, so I don't think my running rich problems is going to be the problem there. I think it's the air filter. I do currently have aviation fuel in the tank, 100 low lead, and I just use that in this tractor because it sets so much. There's times when I don't use this thing and it sets for 3 or 4 minutes at a time. So, but anyways, we're gonna get that stuff fix a couple hydraulic leaks. You can see where it's been leaking stuff on the floor again. Apparently I don't have my bucket situated correctly. Put it right here, see if we can't start catching the drips. Like I say, we'll fix that leak if we can. Fix the leak on this. You can see since I power washed it where it's dripping, and I think it's the one on the right side here that's doing the dripping. I need to pull that out. There's just a single bolt back here on the back. See my finger, there it is. I think that takes a 1/2 inch wrench. I pull that bolt out, and then I can pull this whole barrel out of there, and then there's an O-ring that goes on that. I think I cut that O-ring when I installed it. And this is my cover to the flywheel. If you need to put a timing light on it and time it, your timing marks are right in there on the flywheel. You take this cover off. Since I put all fresh stuff on there, once we get a new clean air filter in it and go to do a little tune-up, I think I'll put my timing light on it and give this thing, check the timing, make sure it's in time correctly. And then, I don't know, I might put the new sheet metal on there since it doesn't matter, consist of much. I might repaint that hood and I also got a set of fenders. This don't have no fenders on it because like I told you, it originally had a cab on it. I sold the cab. These cabs are hard to get into. I just never did like the cabs of this era of tractor. And I like the open air tractors better. So I've got some round clamshell style fenders like what my grandpa's 4010 had on it that I'm gonna mount on this. And of course they need to be painted or powder coated. I may have them powder coated, we'll see. But we might just do all that and get it on there, make it look nice. So we'll just see. As far as doing this to fix them tires, I might, next time I'm home during business hours, I might run these tires over to the tire shop and see if their machine can break these things down. If they can at least break them down for me with their machine, I might go and do that, just so I can move along on that and not have to wait on this tractor, because it's probably going to take me a little while to do it. And my urge to go to the sand dunes can't hardly wait. So the quicker I get them tires broke down, these brakes won't take very long. All I got to do is install 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of hard line here on the brake line, bleed the brakes, put my tires back on, and I'm not going to be done for the things that I want to do this buggy, but done enough that we can load it up and go camping one weekend. And I'm thinking I'm going to take it down to Syracuse, Kansas, to the Syracuse sand dunes, and probably camp out on a Saturday night, one night, play around in the sand a little bit, and come home on Sunday. So anyways, we get the brakes done, get the tires on it, put them sand tires on it, and we can run it down to the sand dunes. The other things I'd like to do to this thing is this front axle is not centered on the frame. And just look at the gap. There's one way to tell. See the distance between here, and then look at the distance over here. It's a lot wider. They don't have it centered. But they've got the gearbox tack welded to the tube, so I'm going to have to cut that weld. And just a little bit to center the axle, there's plenty of room here for this gearbox to slide. I can loosen up the bolts and slide it over just a little bit. And then once that's done, I'll have to readjust the tie rods, realign it, but that's no big deal. That just, now that I've noticed that that thing's not centered up, so you can look at that, just look, this here is, well, right here, this is the center of the tubes from left to right. And if we just stand back and look and eyeball that right down the center of the buggy, you can tell it's off. It's more to that side. So that's just bugging me. I'm gonna get that fixed. So that's one thing. I want to put brake lights on this, and I've been thinking about using these watermelon lights. I'll show you my kind of a trucker thing, since I am a trucker. I bought these watermelon lights, see these? And I thought maybe I would put some brake lights on this thing. But I'm not gonna just mount them up under here. Initially I was going to. I think that would have 2 sets over there. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these off of the chrome bracket, and I'm gonna make me a box, a light box, so it's all enclosed. And then I will just fasten the lights and the chrome ring here that retains them to the light box, and that way I don't have any exposed wiring on the back side. So I think I want to do that. And then I've got some tiny miniature watermelon lights to go with them that also have a brake light function. If I can find them here. Here's some. See the little miniature brake light? It's a 3-way function, so it's tail light and brake light. I'm thinking what I might do is this bottom cage, bottom of the engine, this round tube, I'm gonna peel off. They put bed liner on the bottom side of this chassis, and it's all trying to peel off. But I'm thinking I might cut this round piece of pipe out and put square tubing in there, so that way on the flat side of the square tubing I'll drill a series of holes and mount these little bitty watermelon lights in there, like so, all the way across. And so I will have lights there that will light up with the brake lights, along with the lights that's up there. So I'm thinking about doing something like that. So that's another thing I want to do for the lights. And then I want to put some headlights on here, something a little bigger than what it's got, because I want to do some road tripping on the back country roads here in Kansas. So I'm going to put a set of headlights on here, something that's round. And let's see, another thing I want to do, and I'm going to do all these things in stages. I don't want to just tear it all apart at once, because I want to keep it a nice usable buggy from time to time. I want to pull this gauge cluster out. I want to rebuild that, make it a little wider, so I can maybe put my gauges all in a row across the top, and I'll lower my switches all down below the gauges. So thinking about doing that. And I think I'll just make it out of steel and paint it gray to match the rest of the buggy. So some little things to do. And then I've got I got some material. I want to make a bikini top for this to snap down on the snaps. Probably remove those lights. I'm not going to toss them. They do work. I'll put them in my box of stuff to use in the future for future projects. But anyway, a little few things I want to do to that. But anyways, we will bring you back along here after I get some work done and show you what all I've done.